The woke movement, depending on your point of view, is either the latest iteration of the civil rights movement or a rebranded fascist movement. Either way, in the modern world of social media and the era of cancel culture, the woke left are a powerful group. And today, we're going to take a look at a little weird woke on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. I debated doing this subject for a while now, mainly because of the woke left's penchant for canceling anybody who disagrees with them. Me? I believe in debate and question anyone on either side who can't rationally defend their beliefs. One of my favorite teachers once told me that if you can't make your case without profanity or insults, you don't understand it enough to discuss. I agree. Thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First, the things we should all know. The basic definition of the term woke means socially and politically aware, particularly in the context of issues related to social justice and inequality. It claims an understanding of systemic injustices and willingness to address and confront these issues. In recent years, the term woke has been more broadly adopted in mainstream culture to describe individuals or actions that demonstrate an awareness of various forms of oppression, such as racism, sexism, homophobia, or other social inequalities. Being woke implies an active commitment to staying informed about social issues and advocating for positive change. However, the term can also be used with both positive and negative connotations, depending on one's perspective on social and political issues. Weird thing number 5. The term woke originated in African American vernacular English and has its roots in early 20th century African American communities. It was initially used to convey a sense of being awake or alert, particularly in the context of societal issues and injustices. The term gained prominence during the civil rights movement in the 1960s when activists and leaders used it to describe a heightened awareness of social and political issues, particularly those related to racial inequality. Being woke was associated with staying vigilant and engaged in the ongoing struggle for civil rights and justice. Weird thing number 4. Apparent hypocrisy? Wealth disparities. Some critics argue that there is a perceived hypocrisy among certain woke figures or movements when it comes to wealth and privilege. Critics may point to instances where individuals advocating for economic equality are themselves wildly affluent and part of the elite. Selective application of free speech. Critics contend that some on the woke left may champion free speech in certain agreeable contexts, but be less tolerant of dissenting views within or without their circles. This can be perceived as hypocritical when movements advocating for inclusivity and diverse perspectives are seen as suppressing any opinions that don't align with their ideology. Corporate alliances. Some critics argue that the woke left can be hypocritical when it comes to their relationship with corporations. While advocating for social justice, certain movements or individuals might be associated with or receive huge support from large corporations, raising questions about the consistency of their principles. Weird thing number 3. The good things about the woke left. The 3 governing principles: the promotion of social justice. The woke left often advocates for social justice and aims to address systemic inequalities. This includes efforts to combat racism, sexism, homophobia, and other forms of discrimination. The movement seeks to raise awareness about these issues and create a more inclusive and equitable society. Diversity and inclusion. Emphasizing diversity and inclusion is a central tenet of the woke left. Many individuals associated with the movement work towards creating environments that embrace people with all backgrounds, cultures, genders, and identities, fostering a sense of belonging and representation. Advocacy for marginalized communities. The woke left often focuses on amplifying the voices and concerns of marginalized communities. This advocacy includes efforts to address social injustices, promote equal opportunities, and challenge structures that perpetuate discrimination. The movement aims to create positive change for those who have been historically marginalized or underrepresented. I agree with all these principles. The application is where a lot of it falls short and to a certain extent muddies the water or even reverses the principle. Weird thing number 2. Corporate wokeness that worked out. Nike's advertising campaigns featuring athletes like Colin Kaepernick, known for kneeling during the national anthem to protest racial injustice, generated both praise and criticism. Despite some backlash, Nike's sales reportedly increased, and the brand received attention for its support of social justices. Now, this one to me was kind of like shooting fish in a barrel. Nike has always had a strong youth demographic, which is largely left. Ben & Jerry's. The ice cream company Ben & Jerry's has been vocal about various social and political issues, including racial injustice and climate change. While some consumers appreciate their activism, others argue that it is a strategic move to appeal to a socially conscious customer base. In the end, the company lost market share due to boycotts, but still maintained their stance. I applaud it as it seems genuine, a rare thing in corporate America. Patagonia. Known for its environmental activism, outdoor clothing company Patagonia has taken public stances on issues such as climate change and public lands. This approach has resonated with environmentally conscious consumers, potentially contributing to the company's success. And finally, weird thing number 1, corporate wokeness gone wrong. Corporations have a history of trying to anticipate various trending movements that will sell more product. Here are the companies that pursued the woke market, much to their detriment. Gillette. The term "go woke, go broke" was coined concerning Gillette's movements in 2019. The company launched an ad campaign called The Best Men Can Be, which tackled toxic masculinity following the #MeToo movement. The initial video was called We Believe, and it received a scathing online response. Men and conservatives in particular condemned its woke messaging, and it became one of YouTube's most disliked videos. Also resulted in a massive amount of memes in social media. Gillette's parent company, Procter & Gamble, reported an $8 billion write-down on all of Gillette revenue 6 months after. Disney. The Walt Disney Company is one of, if not the, most powerful and successful media conglomerates on the planet. But while they're responsible for many of our favorite childhood movies and have bought the rights to most of the rest, some of their recent films have been less than stellar. There are some quantifiable reasons for this, like the loss of Disney Plus subscribers being tied to their loss of cricket streaming rights. However, outrage from right-wing groups over inclusive stories, casting, and messaging has also been blamed. Retelling of favorite old stories. Disney CEO Bob Iger addressed this in November of 2023, saying that he's instructed employees to prioritize storytelling over messaging. Whether this helps Disney regain the successes they once achieved remains to be seen. Bud Light. In April 2023, transgender TikTok star Dylan Mulvaney uploaded a promotional video to Instagram for Bud Light. Mulvaney has been accused by many on the right of trolling a caricature of women for financial gain. As Bud Light's main demographic being hetero pro-American males, 21 to 55, the move was seen as a large smack in the face. Conservative news outlets picked up the story and a boycott followed. Kid Rock filmed himself shooting Bud Light cases with a machine gun. The stock price of brewing company Anheuser-Busch fell by 20%, and the company later reported a 17.5% decrease in U.S. sales. They also announced that they would no longer be pushing Bud Light as their flagship beer. That distinction now belongs to Michelob Ultra. I was never a Bud Light guy. I am even less of a Michelob Ultra guy. Well, that's it for today's episode. Phew. That seemed like a long one. Why am I sweating? As always, leave any opinions down in the comments. And if you're still watching, put cancel! Down in the comments to keep the fates from canceling me. Take care and go protest something.